What is going on, everybody? AHS Rules back again with another video, and in this video I'll be providing my predictions for AEW All In 2023. Uploading this video 24 hours before this big event takes place, so if anything is announced that would change my predictions, I'll try to make a little note in the comments before the event starts, that way, but we'll see what happens. But as of right now, there are 11 matches, 2 on the buy-in pre-show, so let's just start talking about them. Before I get really in-depth with this, I will say this: there's something outside my house, and it is making the loudest noise in my left ear, so I am definitely distracted, but I'm going to try to power through it. So here we go. First match I'll be talking about, the ROH Tag Team Title match. Aussie Open versus MJF and Adam Cole. I always like to use the word weird when I talk about my videos, because weird, in my opinion, weird is either a good thing or a bad thing. And depending on how you look at it, it could be weird because different people have different perspectives on it. So this is 100% a weird match, because I've seen a lot more negative feedback towards this match than positive, just because they're like, that's the two of these guys are in the main event, why the hell are they on the pre-show? That definitely does make sense, and I just feel that no one feels that MJF and Adam Cole are going to leave this match as the winners, so just kind of, it's a weird match to have, needless to say. So I'm going to pick Aussie Open, but if MJF and Adam Cole were to win the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles, I would not have a problem with it. Come to Ring of Honor. I review Ring of Honor every freaking week. The Tag Team titles have been defended once on the TV reviews that I have done. Maybe twice. I'm certain it's only once. So maybe that could change. I doubt it. So I predict Aussie Open to win it, though. The other pre-show match for the FTW title, Jack Perry, Jungle Boy, versus Hook. I think I want Hook to win. I think it would benefit him more if he was to lose to Jack Perry twice in a row. It really hurts him, and especially because he's been undefeated. That was his first loss, was to Jungle Boy. So to get his redemption really quickly, I think would help him and boost him. So I'm picking Hook to win. But if he doesn't, I don't know what the hell they're going to do with him next. So now we're on to the main show. 9 matches, a lot of tag team matches, but that's not a bad thing because it's getting a lot more people on this massive card. The first one I'll be talking about is Stadium Stampede. The Blackpool Combat Club, consisting of John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta, teaming with Proud and Powerful Mike Santana and Ortiz. I know originally the graphic had 6 versus 6, but the new graphic has 5v5. They don't have that mystery silhouette anymore, so I imagine this is just going to stay a 5-on-5 match. The other team, however, is the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta. I don't know if he used the Beretta in AEW, but I said it anyways. Orange Cassidy, Penta L0M, and Eddie Kingston. This is one that I don't know. I think the Blackpool Combat Club and Proud and Powerful are going to win. This is Proud and Powerful's first match together as a team in over a year, because Mike Santana is coming back. It's going to be I'm making it a point to refer to him as Mike Santana, because he's always been Santana. But I just feel that there's more cohesive, more of a team effort on that side of things, and I think there's more tension to become. And I think Eddie Kingston needs to lose. That way he gets more angry, and then whenever they have the very big blow-off revenge match, he wins that, and it makes him look victorious. I would say that, but I'm getting flashbacks to last year where he feuded with Chris Jericho for months and months, and they had their big blow-off final match, and it freaking sucked, and he looked terrible after. But I'm not blaming him. I'm blaming other people. I don't know why I started talking about that, because of Stadium Stampede. Speaking of Stadium Stampede, this is not an ad or anything. This is an ad, actually, for my own thing. I'm addicted to the Stadium Stampede mode on Fight Forever. I streamed it. It is on my YouTube. The first time I played it, spoiler alert, I won a lot on it, and I've won a lot more since then. So if you want to see me play that, I have it on YouTube, and I definitely plan on streaming it again in the future. So just getting that out there. Next tag team matchup, the Golden Elite, Hangman Adam Page, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi versus the Bullet Club Gold, Jay White and Juice Robinson, and Konosuke Takeshita. Again, this is a very 50-50 match, but I feel that we see the Golden Elite. We don't see the Golden Elite enough because there's the Elite, and then once Kota Ibushi gets added, that's the Golden Elite. So I feel like that's kind of a rarity, and we've only seen it once so far. So I feel for that rare occasion, I'm going with the Golden Elite, but I don't think that this story is finished, obviously. So I'm intrigued to see what happens after it. Next matchup, Coffin Match. Sting and Darby Allin versus Swevre Strickland and Christian Cage. I'm predicting Sting and Darby Allin to win because A, Sting is undefeated. Don't ruin that for me. And B, Darby Allin has this big TNT title match next week at All Out, and I feel that winning this match would probably eliminate Christian Cage and Swevre Strickland out of that matchup with Luchasaurus next week. So I feel that would make it just like a big one-on-one match. So this is just a way to eliminate them from that. And I like saying the word weird. This build has been weird because Darby's had to been like splitting time. Like, oh, I have to feud with Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. I also have to feud with the Mogul Embassy. And now in the like last days before their big match, they started coughing, joined forces. So Sting and Darby to win. Because if you ruin Sting's undefeated streak, I will feel some type of way, and it will not be good. Next matchup, Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho. I'm glad Will Ospreay is on this card. I will also admit, I used to not be the biggest fan of Will Ospreay because I just used to think he was the biggest asshole. But like, I've never met the guy. I'm just seeing how he acts online and all that other crap. But I think I've kind of realized he is a very good. I didn't want to say great because I want to say great for like the rare occasions. But he's a very good wrestler, so I feel my dislike for him has definitely slowed down. A lot of people have also disliked this match because they hate Chris Jericho, which I just feel has kind of came out of nowhere. And they wanted to see Will Ospreay face somebody else, but I haven't heard, besides Kenny Omega, I have not heard them suggest who the hell else he should face. I will say that having the Kenny match would be bad timing because we just had the second one recently. Storyline wise, like they're all in like different directions. Just would have been weird to rush that. And whenever the hell that third match is, I have no clue when. It needs to be the big match of the show. Where with this show, I think it might have would have got. I know it's hard to say because their first two matchups were great. First three because they wrestled in PWG. I wanted to get that wink out there. So yes, back to this match. I think Will Ospreay is going to win. Anytime, I'm not going to say he's definitely not undefeated in AEW because I remember he was in the Trios tournament. He did not win that. But he very rarely loses when he's in AEW. And Chris Jericho, I ain't going to lie, I don't know off the top of my head the last time he did win. So I think it'd benefit them the most if Will Ospreay won. So the rest of the matchups on this are championship matchups. The first one I'll talk about, the Trios Tag Team title, House of Black versus the Acclaimed and Bad Daddy, I was trying to combine it. Daddy Badass Billy Gunn. I don't think there's a nice ring to it. Acclaim and Billy Gunn. I think this is kind of the easiest match to predict because this match has already happened twice, and I don't think you would have it for a third time if we weren't going to get some type of change. Also, pat on the back. I suggested this match in my fantasy booking video 2 months ago, maybe a month ago, so I'm glad that at least one of my matchups is taking place. And I will take some points because I suggested Sting and Darby Allin versus Luchasaurus and Christian Cage. Luchasaurus isn't involved, but that there's some type of iteration in that. But again, I predict Acclaim and Billy Gunn to win just because we already had this matchup twice. If you're doing it a third time, you need some type of change. Also, House of Black, I don't want to say like, oh, it is my favorite thing going on in AEW, but I have no complaints of how the House of Black have been booked. So seeing them lose is a bit sad because I like how they've been booked and all their matchups they've recently had. But if they were to lose, I'm intrigued to see what they do next. Do they break into singles action or do they break into 2-on-2 tag team action? So I'm interested to see what happens there. Now, this next matchup, is another tag team title matchup. And again, it's a 50-50 match. I don't know who I'm going to predict to win. FTR versus the Young Bucks, number 3. The first matchup was at Full Gear 2020. The Young Bucks won that one. The second matchup was the Dynamite after Supercard of Honor 2022 because the Young Bucks attacked after Supercard of Honor, and FTR won that matchup. I think I'm going to go with the Young Bucks because I feel that they're going to go back into the tag team scene because lately they've been in the trio scene, and I know that they have had matchups building up. Like they just had the match a couple weeks ago against the Gun Club. I think they had another one that I'm forgetting about. But I feel if they were to go back onto 2-on-2 action and lose the you're building up to the tag team title match. And I don't think they're going to. I don't want to say this is like the final time ever they're going to wrestle FTR, but I feel this is probably the last time for a long time. So I want to predict the Young Bucks just from the standpoint of I think they're back on 2-on-2 action. They're building towards, like, the tag team title match came, like, right away, and I don't know. It's very 50-50. I'm going back and forth with it. But I've already marked that I predicted the Young Bucks. So I'm going to stick with the Young Bucks. I just also feel that FTR, the tag team division, I know, like I just said, it's weird because, like, there's random occasions where they put two guys together and they're just a tag team. Like, I know Jay White and Juice Robinson, they're in Bullet Club Gold, but it's just like before in AEW lore, they just got put together and were a tag team where they're just single stars before that. And then a better example is Brian Cage and Big Bill. I almost wanted to call him Big Cass XL, and that was just combining a bunch of names. So it's just like the 2-on-2 tag team division. I feel it could be better built because there's a lot of loaded tag teams. It's just like they never challenge for the tag team titles anymore. And I feel that there'll be a change of direction. Also, I don't want to break the fourth wall, but I do occasionally do that. There's another thing I could mention. I'm not going to mention it. You're probably like, yeah, I knew he was going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about that. The other thing I'm going to talk about. We have the Dynamite and Collision barrier, where they're not set rosters, obviously, but we see guys on Dynamite and we see guys on Collision, and when you look at the posters for the week, a lot of times it's different people on them. So if you look at the Collision side of things, they have the trios titles already. They also have the tag team titles. So I feel it'd be better if, for this imaginary roster thing that we're doing here, if one side had the tag team titles, the other side had the trios titles. And I think the trios titles will stay on the Collision side and bring the tag team titles back to the Dynamite side. Again, that's just me, overcomplicating it, but it's just like, I'm trying to, like, figure out best, like, who I could see winning this matchup. Maybe, I don't know if tag team titles have a 60-minute draw limit, because that would make the show long as hell, but a 30-minute time limit draw, and then, like, it builds up to this fourth match. I don't know. Again, I'm overcomplicating it, but my final pick, because like I said, I've already got it wrote down and pinned, the Young Bucks. Next matchup, the women's title, Hikaru Shida versus Britt Baker versus Toni Storm versus Saraya. The women's division of AEW just makes me scratch my head every time I talk about it. I'm not hating on it because I respect what they do out there, but it's just like, I feel whenever they take one step forward, they take two steps back, and it's just, I'm picking Hikaru Shida because I'm glad that she's champion. She deserves to have a great reign, but she just won the title. So I'm like, if hypothetically any of these other three people were to win it, it's just like, why have Toni Storm lose in the first place? Because you could have had her have a longer reign, and I know like she's only held it for like less than a freaking month, but I think it'd be overcomplicated if the title changed hands here. And I just want a bit, I don't know. I'm trying to overthink it again. I'm not going to, though. Next matchup for the Real World Championship. CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. I don't like showing my wrestling figures all the time, but I will show this because I'm very proud of it. But a little custom thing I did. Now, this is not paint. This is tape, so a little stand feel right there. I will say this. when I was talking to my ROH TV review, they were talking about this matchup on ROH. And I was like, I'm not that interested in this match because this match just happened. CM Punk just put the freaking X on this title. He's not losing this title. The main reason I'm mad is because this CM Punk Samoa Joe rivalry, they had a great trilogy in Ring of Honor. And this is just me being a Ring of Honor homer. If you bring up Ring of Honor, I'm going to have my ears open like to hear what you're going to say. So it's just, this feud is based 80% on Ring of Honor history. And I feel that they've kind of like ruined it a little bit, especially because in the Ring of Honor matches, the first two went to time limit draws. It was draws. And then that could be, me saying draws like that could be a meme. Then the third matchup, Joe finally won. It was a big deal. Then CM Punk just won this. It's fair. Now, I understand Samoa Joe wanting redemption because he's like, no, CM Punk was never supposed to beat me, and he did, so I got to get mine back. And also, again, it's a tied game because I've won one, he's won one. Now we got to have this tiebreaker again. But I just feel that they are kind of ruining it because, like, Samoa Joe for the longest time was the dominant one over CM Punk. And this doing it right away, Samoa Joe losing twice back to back, it's just like, it kind of, in my eyes at least, outdoes a lot of things that have happened in the past. The other thing, and I know, again, just me being a Ring of Honor homer, Samoa Joe is the Ring of Honor television champion. I know CM Punk does not give a damn about the Ring of Honor television champion, but having the champion lose, again, back to back to a guy, just like, I'm not going to say it devalues the title, but just like, this guy's a champion, you know, like, we're just going to ignore that. So, obviously, I'm picking CM Punk to win. He just created this title. He's already proven more recently that he can beat Samoa Joe. But I also think maybe they should have waited to have the fourth matchup. I don't know. Again, I think it's just me overthinking things. Now we get to the main event and another matchup where I don't know who's going to win. AEW World Title match, MJF versus Adam Cole. I have not hated this MJF Adam Cole storyline. There's a bit of things that I do question that have happened, but the audience that is out there every week watching them cares. They really care about this. And so this big matchup happening, I don't know where I was going with that. MJF has been champion since November. I think this match should be easy to predict. I know who I am going to predict, but I think who I want to win is getting in the way. Now, obviously, when I do predictions, I predict who I think is going to win, not who I want to win. I always specify if I want someone specific to win. I always specify that. I really want Adam Cole to win. I just want to, MJF's had a great title reign, but I just want to see a new title reign, and I want Adam Cole, one of my favorites, to be champion, and I feel he would have a great title run. Also, I think the thing that, I, again, am overthinking is every week we've seen Roderick Strong and the Kingdom backstage. They're always talking about Adam Cole. When are they going to, actually get involved in something involving Adam Cole and MJF? And I think the fan base would, hate it if they got involved at the end of this. And that's what I'm overthinking. Are they going to get involved and help Adam Cole and prove that they're friends, and then this is the big swerve? Because again, everyone is predicting Adam Cole to turn on MJF because MJF doesn't see it happening, and we want Adam Cole back as a heel. So I want that as well. Now, in a perfect world, Kyle O'Reilly pops up out of nowhere, helps Adam Cole win, and they reunite the Undisputed Era. I'm not calling the Undisputed Elite. I hate that. And they could come up with their own name. But Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole. Get well soon, Kyle O'Reilly. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. That would be a perfect ending in my eyes. Get the Kingdom out of it. They could stay in Ring of Honor. But I want Adam Cole to really win this. But everything that I've led towards is the opposite of what I think is going to happen. I think that MJF's had the title for too long. I think I've also said several times, I think MJF's going to have a year-plus reign, and we have not crossed that year mark yet. So I think MJF is going to win this match, even though I really want Adam Cole to win this. So I said a lot, and also realized CM Punk was standing there the whole time. So I said a lot in this video, and I enjoyed making it. But I'm really looking forward to this event. I always say I will say this when I talk about UFC, and I don't talk about UFC enough on here. My favorite fights, and in this case, my favorite matches are ones where I have no clue who's going to win. On this show, there's a lot of those matchups. Stadium Stampede, any side could win. The trios match with the Golden Elite versus Bullet Club Gold, Takeshita, any side could win that. The tag team title match, definitely anyone could win that. And then even the main event is very much that. So we got a lot of matchups. It's just like, I have no clue what's going to happen. So I'm looking forward to see what happens. I will also say, I'm going to have to be right back here next week because we have All Out. And I'm definitely a bit concerned that they have to build that show on less than a week's notice. I know they got 2 matches already announced. And I don't want that show to get overcrowded because it would be a lot of AEW action in such a short window. So I say it many times. I'm intrigued to see what happens next week. So I'm looking forward to All In. Hopefully everyone stays safe. Take care. Enjoy yourselves. Please like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.